Thanks so much for having me back. This is such a special group because, boy, I've been there. There was a time in the 80s where I lost my job 5 different times in 5 different years. And so I know what you're feeling. But it's interesting. I've talked to a lot of you, but while I'm talking to you right now, you're talking to yourself 3, 7, 100, 1,000. The research can't agree. Some people say, some research says 3 times faster. Some say 7 times faster when you're alone, sometimes hundreds. A study just recently came out that they think it's thousands of times faster, which I tend to agree with. Because when I talk to you with words. And when you talk to yourself, you also use words. But when you talk to yourself, you also use pictures and feelings. So when I think of Mary, my wife, I don't think of her with words. I think of how I feel about her. And I think of how pretty she is to me, as you can see. In fact, it would take an infinite number of words to describe to her what she's like on the inside and the outside. So you're really talking to yourself thousands of times faster than I'm talking to you, but here's the point. Let me find, okay, this is my important spot. Good, there's a little blue tape here so I can stand right here. Everything down, looking just at me, okay? Don't want you to miss this. While you are talking to yourself, your brain is believing everything you tell it, without question. Ugh. So when you say, I just cannot do this, do you know what your brain says? Okay. And then it makes sure you can. That's the scary part. But there's a wonderful part. When you say, I can do this, what does the brain say to that? Okay. And then do you know what it does? It becomes obsessed with finding ways for you to do it. Now, is what you are saying true? You know what? Your brain doesn't even care. And when I heard that in psychology class years ago, I was really skeptical. I said, I mean, how do you know that the brain doesn't care? I think the best book that talks about that is written by Dr. V.S. Ramachandran out of UC San Diego called Phantoms in the Brain. Phantoms refer to phantom limbs that have been amputated. And the patient goes into a doctor's office, he'll say, you got to help me, I can't do a thing with my arm. And the doctor may have to say, well, it could be because I amputated that arm 6 months ago. And the patient says, you didn't tell my brain that. My brain still thinks it's there. My brain, it itches and aches and tries to pick things up with it. So the brain doesn't care whether what you're saying is true or not.